Hello and welcome to the Week 9 recap. Some exciting games this weekend. Not a lot didn't go the way it was supposed to, so it's just a pretty normal weekend, all things considered. Two games really stand out, but I'm gonna go through the list real quick, and we'll save those two games for last. The week started out with the North Carolina at number 23 Pitt. I had actually picked Pitt to win this game, but they were just outmanned by North Carolina, and this is actually a really good North Carolina team. But this Pitt team was just not ready. North Carolina got the win 26-19. The next game on the list that's pretty easy to call was number 5 was West Virginia at number 5 TCU. TSU won that one handily, as they should have. The next one was number 19 Ole Miss at Auburn. Auburn gave Ole Miss a run for their money in this game, and however, Ole Miss still did come out on top. That's like kind of how I expected it to be, but Ole Miss has not beaten Auburn at Auburn in a long time, so this was a good victory for this team. Next was Syracuse at number 17, Florida State. Syracuse was way out of their depth here. Florida State just ran away with this one big time. Um, Next was Colorado at number 24, UCLA. This game was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. I thought UCLA was just going to run away with the game, but Colorado kept it close. I think the final was 35-30 or something like that. So Colorado kept it close the entire game. The next one was number 3 Clemson at NC State. Clemson defense struggled a lot more this week than they did last week. They let up 40-something points to NC State. However, Clemson scored 56 points following up their 58-point game with a very good offensive showing once again. Number 14, Oklahoma at Kansas. Oklahoma just romped all over Kansas, kind of how I thought it would be. Uh, Number 12, Oklahoma State at Texas Tech. Oklahoma State ran away with this one at the end, but it was a high-scoring game. 123 total points scored in that game, I believe. Maryland at number 10, Iowa. Iowa remains undefeated. They were actually the only undefeated Big Ten team still playing this week. Next was Tulane at number 16, Memphis. Memphis struggled early, going down 13-0, but then won the game 41-13. So they did handle the game very well after starting off horribly. Oregon State at number 13, Utah. Utah won that one. It was a bit of a battle, but I think Utah had a good bounce back after the devastating loss to USC. Vanderbilt at number 18, Houston. I picked Houston to win this one, and they did. They beat Vanderbilt rather handily. Actually, it was kind of a bad thing. Number 15, Michigan at Minnesota. Michigan pulled out a goal line stop to win the game against Minnesota. It was very, very intense game, and I give props to this Minnesota team after their coach just retired last week. Right before the game, it was an emotional ride for those kids, and they came out big with that game. Next was number 8 Stanford at Washington State. Now this game was a bit frightening for Stanford. They started off just not able to do anything. They kept letting up field goals. In fact, it got to 15-3 at one point. Washington State, all field goals, and Stanford came roaring back, and in the last minute, Washington State missed a field goal, and Stanford preserved the win. The next to last game I'm going to talk about today is the number 9 Notre Dame at number 21 Temple. A lot of people were saying that Temple was just going to run away with this game, and it was not Temple, sorry, Notre Dame was just going to run away with this game. It was no contest. Temple should be grateful they were ranked at this point, but their undefeated season's over. Hands down, going to go to Notre Dame. Temple showed up it's not that Notre Dame didn't show up either. Notre Dame showed up to play, but Temple came out hard and played Notre Dame well. In fact, in the fourth quarter, Temple kicked a field goal to take the lead with 4 minutes and 45 seconds left at 20-17. Not nearly the high scoring runaway that Notre Dame was supposed to have. But Notre Dame, with 2 minutes and 9 seconds left in the game, scores a touchdown to take back the lead, again, going up 24-20. In the final 2 minutes, Temple starts moving the ball well, but they throw a costly interception in just at about the minute mark left in the game. Notre Dame's only turnover that the defense got of the game, and it was a big one. Notre Dame ran the clock down, but they have 7 seconds left, and it's fourth down. Now, they don't need to get the first at this point. They have choices. They can punt and maybe give Temple a chance at a long Hail Mary hook and ladder. Who knows? Or they can run a play and try and run all 7 seconds off the clock before and just not give Temple the ball back. Well, that's what they decided to do. And as DeShone Kizer, Notre Dame's quarterback, is scrambling around, he steps up between two defenders, and one of them knocks the ball out of his hand. And it was crazy. He just looks down real quick, picks it up, and lobs the ball, just like arcing pattern out of bounds near a wide receiver, so it wasn't intentional grounding, even though he was well out of the pocket, wouldn't have really mattered. But he throws the ball, and as he's throwing it, as he throws it, the ball's going through the air, time expires, so Notre Dame held on to the win, 24-20. It was an exciting game to watch. And then there's the last game. Miami of Florida at number 22 Duke. Now Miami went out big, went out 14-0 to start the game in the second quarter. First point scored, they scored 14. They let up a field goal, go to halftime 14-3. Now in the third quarter, Duke comes back with a touchdown and a safety, makes it 14-12. But then Miami scores another 10 points, goes up 24-12. They now have doubled the amount of points Duke has scored, and left them with just 6 minutes to try and gain that back. And that's what Duke did. With about 2 minutes and 40 seconds left on the clock, Duke scored a touchdown and got the extra point to make it 24-19, just a 5-point game. And then with 6 seconds left on the clock, Duke scores another touchdown to make it 25-24. They go for 2 points to try and make it a 3-point game, and they get the 2-point conversion. It's 27-24. Now, they squib kick it, which is a poor choice in my opinion. If you kick it out the back of the end zone or kick it out of bounds, don't let Miami get a return going. You can try your defense to stop them. However, they squib kick it, and Miami does the hook and ladder. So they start doing that, and they lateral the ball 8 times. Now, the problem is, one of the laterals looks like the guy was down. Like, it looks like his knee was down as he's trying to lateral the ball. They call it live on the play, so they don't blow the whistles dead. Lateral a few more times, and then run back to the end zone for 91 yards. Miami takes the lead 30-27. However, there's flags down. There were several pretty egregious blocks in the back on the return. And what wasn't called is the Miami player running off the sideline, down it, and into the end zone to celebrate the touchdown before the player actually scored the touchdown. Like, this is a sideline violation, and none of the refs called it. And then the ref starts to call that a touchdown, and then he starts saying something about a penalty, and then he stops, and he listens to his headset, and then he said the play is under further review, and now they're reviewing whether his knee was down. Upon reviewing that, they decided that his knee was not down and that it is a touchdown. No further mention of penalties. It was weird. It was just bizarre. It was some of the worst actually the worst reffing job I have ever seen in college football. It was atrocious. I mean, there were missed block. There were like 3 or 4 missed block in the backs on the 91-yard return, and then the guy running on the field. Review out of the question. Like, a lot of people still argue that his knee was down, but ignoring that part, there's so many things the officials missed that should have brought this touchdown back anyway. That it was a botched call. The whole end of the game was just awful. And in the end, the ACC felt the same way and has suspended the refs who called that game for at least a week. There are a lot of people speculating over whether or not their penalty will be greater than just a suspension. Some people are thinking there might be people fired for this. It was that bad. It was awful. But that was the last game of the ranked. There were only 16 this week, the fewest of the season so far. Of those 16, I got 14 of them correct. I missed the Miami-Florida Duke game, and I missed the North Carolina-Pitt game. But other than that, my year-to-date is 141 of 174 ranked games, or games that matter, and that's an 81% correct, which is up from last week. It's good. It feels good. So tomorrow I will be posting a Week 10 predictions video. I may start, now that the college football playoff things are out, I may start doing videos on Tuesday nights as my reactions to the, it'll be late Tuesday night, but my reaction to the college football playoff committee's rankings. This week, I feel like it's bold stuff. It's gonna change drastically next week, considering their number 2 and number 4 are playing each other, and that could just change the whole field monstrously. Especially if number 2 beats number 4, number 4 has to fall way out. But it's gonna be an interesting week, and I can't wait to give you my predictions tomorrow. And I'll see you then, and hopefully Tuesday next week I'll have a video up with my reactions to the college football playoff rankings. Thanks for tuning in, and hey, if you liked the video, click the like button. If you like my channel, click the subscribe button. Thanks for tuning in.